Let us now discuss a quote about capital. Let us discuss what some people believe about capital accumulation. Let us read the quote. The trouble with capitalism as a system is that only those who have or can get capital can make it work for them. And that leaves out damn near all of us. Let us think about it for a second. What the quote says that somehow people who have capital, they got it from somewhere, or it was given to them, or it came from somewhere, and the rest of the society, they cannot get into it. It is somehow, capital is somehow a notion, it is a trait, it is something that it's got to be given to us, or we need to have access to it through our parents, or through somehow somehow through the system. This mentality is not correct, ladies and gentlemen. Let me please show you. Any one of you can become a high-end capitalist. What's missing is the knowledge to do it. Exactly the way the knowledge was missing when I went through my work life, my student life. I did not know, and nobody told me. So it is the knowledge that's going to make the difference. How do we go from zero capital to a few $1 million in capital? It is very, very easy. Okay, let us make an example. Let us take this example of a guy working at McDonald's and who's able to save $75 a week, $75 a week. This guy takes that $75 a week and puts that money in the S&P 500, nothing else, to a product, to a financial product that emulates the S&P 500. So what's going to happen at, let's say, after a period of 10 years, between 2012 and 2022? Let's have a look at it. That guy is going to have $60,000. Now, as at the bottom of the screen over here, that's the final value of the portfolio after 10 years, and the total invested, that is the total outflow, the total cash outflow, the out-of-pocket money that this guy put in the S&P 500 is $36,000. This is it. So he made almost double. Now, let us go, and you see over here that I have no money to start with. We start from zero. We work at McDonald's and we put aside $75 a week. This is it. This is the result. Now, let us make that 20 years. That is, let's go from 2002 to 2022. And let us hit calculate. All of a sudden, this guy has got $213,000, $215,000. What he put in throughout the 20 years is $72,000. And he got back $200,015. Now, $215,000 is serious money. That is, after 20 years, this guy, they can have their own business, they can buy a business, they have capital aside, they can do almost anything they want to. Is somebody working at McDonald's a capitalist? This guy is. Simply, he knew how to accumulate, how to put capital aside and wait. Let us continue the example and let's go back 30 years. Oh, before we go back 30 years, let me ask a question. How many of you work 10 years? How many of us working 10 years have $60,000 aside that we don't need? We need to ask that question. We need to ask that question to ourselves. How many of us who work for 20 years have $215,000 aside that we don't need? Not many people have that capital accumulated. And a guy at McDonald's, they can do this. Now, if we go back to 1992 all the way to 2022 and we hit calculate, ladies and gentlemen, the guy working at McDonald's ended up with $500,000 after 30 years of saving 75 a week, and that's a big amount of capital. 75 a week will give you $500,000, more or less, and now the market is down after 30 years. How many people know that? How many people follow this process? Instead, the mentality is, oh, I don't have any capital, and we have the other capitalists who have all the capital. No, I'm not saying it's your fault. It is not your fault. It is not the fault of my students. It is not the fault of the people. It is not the fault of the society. Simply, we don't know how we were supposed to do it. That's why we have this class. That's why in this class, we take very simple, very effective, very pragmatic steps to arrive from point zero to a free person, to somebody who's free from employment, schedule, and location. That is our goal. Thank you.